wanted to know why you may be having more energy at night and feel fatigued in the morning. Hello, my successful and healthy earthlings. Mihaela Raguj here, naturopath and founder of the Natural Health Podcast. In this episode, you will learn not only why you may have more energy at night, but how you can ensure that your energy stays the same throughout the day. Welcome to the Natural Health Podcast, where we bring awareness of sustainable health in the business hustle space. Natural Health Podcast is perfect for the high-performing, business-minded individuals who want to work with their biochemistry to achieve success and optimal health. It's time for Wednesdays, which means it's time for What Would I Do Wednesday. And today's episode of Natural Health Podcast discussed this week's question. All questions are kept confidential and I answer them as if it was me, hence why it's called What Would I Do Wednesdays. The information provided is not to be taken as advice and is information purposes only. I am not here to cure, treat, and provide medical advice. I'm here to educate and inform you so you're able to take steps towards optimal health. Please discuss any medical issues with your healthcare professional. Let's get into today's question. Today's question is, why do I have most of my energy at night and I'm mostly fatigued in the morning? How am I able to manage this? What an absolutely great question. I absolutely love talking about this. So there you have it. But First things first is I have made so many episodes on the circadian rhythm, on sleep, on energy. Please check them out on the Natural Health Podcast on all those episodes. I've got about 200 and so episodes there for you to listen to right now. But let's get into it, right? So it's got to do with the circadian rhythm. The circadian rhythm is physical, mental, and behavioral change that follows a approximately 24-hour cycle. The natural process responds primarily to light and dark, and most runs in us, animals, microbes, humans. Chronobiology in the study of circadian rhythm. One example of light-related circadian rhythm is sleeping at night and being awake during the day. So what I believe is there may be a mismatch there. There may be a mismatch in your circadian rhythm, which you're supposed to be awake during the day and asleep at night. That is how our body is meant to function. For all those individuals that say, no, I work during the night and I sleep during the day, unless there is a genetic snip there, a mutation or anything along those lines, most individuals are made to be sleeping at nighttime and awake during the day. We are made to have most of our energy and be most active during the day, certain times during the day, not the whole day, certain times during the day, and we are meant to be resting and asleep at nighttime. So most people notice the effect of the circadian rhythm in sleeping. So the SCN controls the production of melatonin, which makes us sleepy. It receives information from incoming light from the optic nerve, which relays information from the eyes to the brain. Where there is less light, for example, at night, depending if you're watching TV or on a phone, the SCN tells the brain to make more melatonin, you get drowsy and you fall asleep. So there may be so many things happening that may be a bit out of balance there, right? So your circadian rhythm essentially may be out of balance. You're meant to be more energized in the morning, not at nighttime. We do get spikes of energy at night, but that does not mean we are supposed to be doing work and supposed to be doing things. That means this energy that we're supposed to be getting goes back to us being hunter-gatherers, where we are preparing our bed for sleep, our little shelter for sleep, and ensuring that we look around, that we're aware of our surroundings, that we sleep well. That's kind of from what I've read, the explanation of why you may be getting that peak. Or back in the days, if we stay up late past 10, 11, 12, it may be due to a threat. So therefore we need to be activated. Therefore we need to be alert. And that is why most people go, well, if I'm not bed before 11, I'm wide awake, 11, 12, 1, 2, and then I get back to sleep at 1 or 2, right? But that is that time that we're supposed to be alert only if there is a threat. However, in the modern society, most individuals don't have a threat and they have a safe home, a safe bed to sleep in, and they shouldn't be alert in that sense. Or if they are alert, calm themselves down and go to sleep, because this is what's meant to be happening. Some questions. Let's ask you some questions. When did this start? Were you always like this? Were you always like this? Were you always had more energy at night? Or did it change when you were in your teens, 20s? I'm not too sure how old you are. When did that change? Did something occur around that time that changed? Were you sick, job, a loss, or anything along those lines? Go back to what actually occurred when this changed, or was it always the same? Another question is, when are you eating? When are you eating? Are you eating just before bed because that might be stimulating it? What time are you eating? Are you seeing the sunlight in the morning? Are you just an office individual where you stay inside, you don't go outside? Do you have any other health issues that may be related? Do you stare at the screen at night? Are you exposed to blue light at night? When did this start? Have you always been like this? What is your coffee intake? What is your food intake? What is your water intake? Are you on any medication that may be triggering this? There's a lot of medication that triggers this, including a lot of antidepressants and so forth. When do you exercise? When do you work? Are you a night shift individual? Do you exercise just before bed? Do you exercise early in the morning? What is your social environment like? Are you social at night? Are you social in the morning? Do you work at night? There's so many questions I can keep asking and going on about. Do you have an animal that's loud, that's keeping you awake? Do you have a kid that's keeping you awake? A partner, and so forth. But these are some of the questions that you need to ask yourself. Is one of the key ones being, when did all this start? So what would I do? Okay, so what would I do if I was having a lot of energy at night and waking up fatigued in the morning? Number one is I would balance my circadian rhythm. I need to ensure I balance my circadian rhythm. And please note, this is not a 1-2 day thing, not even a 1-2 week thing. This is months of work to do to ensure that your circadian rhythm is in line, to ensure your circadian rhythm is balanced and is aligned as it should be. Okay, what do I mean by that? Awake during the day, asleep at night. So the first thing that I would do is, as soon as I wake up, don't care what time it is, go outside to see the sun. I don't have to stare at the sun because clearly that's not good for our retina. I would ensure that I see light. I would ensure I'm out there for a minimum of 5 to 10 minutes. If that includes going for a walk, absolutely amazing. Get that system moving. And then the other one I will do is at night time, in the afternoon, watch the sunset. All of this, I don't have time to go into too much detail, resets our circadian rhythm. I would eat in the morning and lunch, and not too late or too much at night, to ensure that I don't have too much to digest. I would remove blue light at night time and ensure I'm exposed to light in the morning. We are supposed to be exposed to light, including blue light and all types of light, in the morning when we want most of the energy, and we're supposed to remove it when we are meant to be sleeping. I would look at my coffee intake, ensure I'm not having caffeine 6 to 8 hours before bed, because caffeine has a huge half-life and it is in our system even if we have it about 2-3 p.m. I would ensure that I review my medication that I'm on with my practitioner, with my doctor, to ensure that this medication is not messing with my circadian rhythm, because a lot of medication does. I would ensure I look at my current health issues to ensure that they're not getting in the way of what's happening, because there may be higher inflammation keeping me awake and pain and so forth. I would ensure that I take some herbs and supplements, talk to a healthcare professional in regards to that, to kickstart the circadian rhythm. Ensure I have a herb mix for the morning to boost the cortisol and boost the circadian rhythm, and ensure I have a herbal mix or a supplement mix at nighttime to calm me and increase that melatonin production. And this is going to be a touch and go type of process for a few months for individuals, to ensure that your circadian rhythm goes into balance. But if you want to fast forward it, I'll give you a little tip. If you want to fast forward it, go camping. Why do I say that? It's because when we go camping, we go with the sun and the moon. When we go camping, most of us are asleep about depending if it's summer or winter, 9, 10, 11, and we're awake as soon as the sun goes up, and that will kind of reset your circadian rhythm in a supercharge. There you have it, right? I hope that this shed some light to your question on anyone who may have this issue. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at Mahela Raguz on Instagram, and I'll be in touch with you and hopefully be able to answer your question via the Natural Health Podcast. And remember, the missing link between failure and success is your health.